Hey guys, how you doing? It's Johnny Berba. Sorry, my hair's crazy. I just got out of the shower. So, welcome to another live stream. Do excuse me. Actually, today I'm a bit stuck in my head. So, a couple more minutes and I'll be fine. I've been doing a lot of stuff in the last couple of weeks, a lot of training, a lot of socializing. So, I feel a little bit I don't know. I feel a little bit spaced out, a bit tired, but I'll pick things up. So, what I'm going to be talking about in today's live stream, what I'm going to be teaching you guys, is how to face your fear of speaking to women. I was going to say speaking to beautiful women, but that's kind of subjective or objective because your beautiful could not be my beautiful. Everyone's got different taste. So let's not really categorize beautiful women. Let's just say women in general, because this is the fear that a lot of men have. Hey, General Spoon, how you doing? I'll also answer some questions a little bit later on in the talk as well. So well done for joining. Let me just make sure this live chat is working. Oh, that's good. Everything's working. So I made some notes of some things I wanted to talk about, but I'm just going to freestyle. Yeah, Scarface shirt. I like wearing. I'll tell you what the psychology is behind the shirts, because I wear a lot of crazy shirts. When I was younger, I was very shy and very insecure. I didn't want attention on me. I didn't like people looking at me because of my social anxiety and my paranoia and insecurity. So I would never wear bright colors. I would never wear anything that stood out. So I guess I'm kind of unconsciously making up for I'm kind of making up for a traumatic past, but we're not going to go into that today. I might go into that if it's relevant. So the idea of the shirt is me saying, I don't really care what people think about me. I'm going to be myself. If I want to wear, outlandish clothes and shirts, I'm gonna wear it, and I'm doing it for myself. I'm wearing it and I feel good about it. And it's me appreciating things as well. It goes quite deep. I'm appreciating people, my family. I'm appreciating the difficulties that I've been through, and I'm also appreciating all of the success I've had and all the people that I've helped. And and just being confident and comfortable to be able to walk into a shop and say, "Oh, well, I'm going to buy that shirt. I'm going to buy the most. I want to be different." But these days, being different is everyone's being different now. So in a sense, it's the norm now. So a lot of the boxers that I like and sports stars and stuff, they wear crazy shirts. So yeah, it's a nice shirt. I thought I'd wear it today for the live stream. It would brighten things up. And yeah, as I said, I've been a bit in my head today because I've spent so much time out of my head. But I'll get myself as the talk goes on. And that's really what I want to talk about today, is guys, as well, is that you don't need to be perfect. And I know that I still put pressure on myself. And I know that you guys do, and I've been mentoring people for many years. So I think for men, I'm going to talk about a lot of truths in this video, and I am going to get down to how to meet women. We put way too much pressure on ourselves, and that's because of the inner conversations. And that starts off with, I'm not good enough. I don't deserve success. I don't deserve a good woman. I don't deserve to be happy. I'm a failure. I've always been a failure. I got bullied at school. I've got social anxiety. I'm depressed all the time. I'm lonely. All these conversations, I have them as well. A lot of people probably think, oh, Johnny doesn't have it because he's Johnny Berba. He's confident with women. He's a teacher. He's famous on YouTube. But what you don't realize is, of course, I have these things. Why would I, be inspired to continue to improve myself and challenge myself? And teaching other people and helping them makes me feel really good about myself. It helps me too. It's a double therapy. I love helping other men build their confidence, and it also helps me to deal with my, with my mental illness, with my mental challenges. So, well done, thanks for coming on. I know quite a lot of you. Hey Joe, I've got to know you. Bean Sauce, Jeremy, a lot of you I've got to know, so this is really good. And be patient today, because as you can kind of see, maybe I'm being hard on myself. I'm a bit stifled today. Usually I'm a lot more free flowing in the live streams, and I'm not saying my head, but for some reason today, but I'm okay with it. Another spiritual practice that I do is where in the past, where I wasn't very conscious and I wasn't as experienced with mental health, confidence, women, socializing, I would beat myself up for being in my head. I would be judging myself. Now I'm not. I'm fine with it. I'm calling it out, and it is a lot more freedom. So, okay. Um, yeah, things are going good. As I said, things are, as I said in my last live stream, generally speaking, I'm in a really good place again, and I've been keeping busy, and I haven't been teaching that much. I'm taking a long, slow rest. I did quite a bit of mentoring, previous months, and now I've been personally working on my dating life. And I said I've been dating a woman. She's not my girlfriend, but she's really nice, and I'm not going to put pressure on that. And we'll see where it goes. Could be the girl of my dreams. She might not want to see me again, or it might just fizzle out. But it's been really nice dating her, and I met her on the street. And I said in my last live stream, guys, I always feel a lot more honest and good about teaching you or teaching anyone when I've got the results in my own life, because then it's just I'm living it, if that makes sense. So, okay, enough about me. I just had to get some things out. So, yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. I hope it works out too. I hope for the best. But as life, and that's something I'm going to talk about today, right? And this is parallel with facing the fear of meeting women on the street. So one of the things I want to say, and you guys can let me know how you feel. And I'm not attacking other teachers and stuff like that. I don't do stuff like that. But one of my frustrations is, I think if you go on YouTube now and you write, "Hey, doing good to see you, mate. Um, bless you, man. And I hope you enjoy your holiday, mate. And I really appreciated the message as well. I sent you one back, so really appreciated the time I've had with you. And if we have more time, great. If we don't, every minute of it, I've appreciated you as well, Aiden. So thank you. Where was I going to go? I've lost my train of thought. I'm all over the place today. I'm probably, lately, I don't know what it is. I'm too relaxed. And that's what, anyway, yeah. Anyway, I'm great. My mind's crazy today, man. I'm all over the place. Now, if you go on YouTube now and you write in how to face fear, and I even watched the lecture yesterday, and I don't usually watch things. I think it was a Harvard lecture, one of those top universities, and I thought, let me give it a go. Let me not judge things. Let me be open-minded, because it is hard sometimes. As teachers, we do have egos. I have got an ego, and you do kind of feel I know better than everyone. I've faced more fears. I've been teaching this. I'm an expert. Of course, you don't always know everything. So I thought, let me see if I can learn more about fear and anxiety. But what I found was in the lecture, all they really spoke about was the scientific, the way the amygdala works, the brain. And I'm like, okay, that's all good and well. But can you actually give us some practical truth as someone who is suffering with fear and anxiety in their life, who is afraid to meet people, or afraid to approach women, or afraid of life, or afraid of speaking, or afraid of business, or afraid of money? Can you give me the truth on the actual solution to deal with this? And they didn't give a solution. I'm sorry. Yes, it was interesting, it educated you, it explained why we have fear and anxiety, why social anxiety is triggered, why we have a lot of worries, but they didn't give a solution. And I'm not bigging myself up, but Johnny Berba gives a solution. As you guys know, I don't just talk about this on live streams and the psychology. I actually go out and demonstrate live on the camera how to face your fears. I show how to approach women. There's videos of me on YouTube doing public talks in front of, at least 40, 50 people. There's videos of me coaching people. I hope Aiden he won't mind me, hopefully. There's me working with Aiden, working with Daniel, so many students. You're seeing them get the results, but you're seeing me teaching them. And then you're seeing them grow and then not need me anymore. because that's the solution. A teacher should be in your life, not forever, in my opinion, for a certain period to get you where you want to get to. And then you say, thank you very much. I really appreciate you helping me. Obviously, you paid the teacher. Or if it isn't a paid relationship, it's based on love and appreciation or friendship. So at the end of the day, I'm giving you guys a solution so you can overcome your fears of speaking to women and life, because I'm a fear expert. Because, yeah, I don't even need to explain it, and I don't need to be arrogant, you know. And I'm someone who is hungry for the truth in wherever I go, whether it's sports, whether it's business, whether it's meeting women. So I just wanted to get that out. It's a bit of a frustration that I have, that when you go online, they talk about the fight or flight response. Okay, we know all that. You know, it's a bit like therapy talking about trauma and, you know, abuse and bullying, and you know, we all know that. But can you give us a solution, please? We need a solution. There's no, look, I can talk till I'm blue in the face. If I just done these live streams every day, you guys would eventually say, I'm sure, this guy talks too much. This is boring. He just talks about it. But we don't know if he can do it or not. We don't really know if he's good at women. We don't know if he can approach. But you can't say those things because I've got the proof on YouTube, and I've got countless installed videos of me going out. You can see it's real, you know, unless you're so skeptical that you don't believe everything. And if you've worked with me, then you know it's real because I've taught you, and you've got dates and got laid and got girlfriends and got confident. So it's all about the solution, and I'm going to give that again today. And I am going to do more infill videos at the moment. I just haven't found the right cameraman to work with. I'm looking for a professional filmmaker so I can film the video in top quality, beautiful sound, and go out and show you the solution to how to face your fear. But I'm going to do the best I can in today's live stream. So I would get a pen, guys, make notes. I'm sorry if I can't keep up. There's a lot of questions, which is good. Okay, so first things first, and again, it doesn't have to be in this order. I'm just going to give you the truth in all its different variables. Mindset. They didn't speak about this in the, I almost wanted to say this Harvard University needs to get Johnny Berba on to speak, because I've got 15 years experience with fear, social anxiety, confidence, approaching people. I don't think these professors have faced as much fear as I have. I don't believe they have. Or my top students or long-term clients who've done the 6-week program, people like Aiden, people like Daniel, people like David, so many clients. Like, I'm not going to name all of them. Some of them want to be in private. Like, get me on TED. Put Johnny Berba on TED. Like, you know, I'm going to say it, get me on Joe Rogan. Get me on London Real. Because I've lived this stuff, you know what I mean? And I'm not perfect, but I've got the proof. And I have got full confidence in myself. Anytime if someone said to me, we want you to go out today, we're going to film you, and we want to see your approach to them, we want to see you face your fears, I'm going to do it within reason. If it's in a good place, which is what I teach, you know, or like I'm willing to back it up. You know what I mean? I will get in the boxing ring, metaphorically speaking, and I've been in the boxing ring. But most of these people, they just talk. They just talk. It's all intellectual. They've got degrees, but you haven't got degree in the reality of it. You know, you can look. I'm not completely dismissing the education system, but education alone without application does not change your life. Like, as the American guys, do you guys feel me on this? Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, I've worked with so many people, and I mean a lot of people, and I may be going back a few years ago, professional people, very educated people, way more educated than me. Like, I'm not educated in the school system. I failed my GCSEs. I didn't go to university because I was depressed. I had anxiety. I was suicidal those times. I wasn't. It wasn't even that I wasn't smart enough. I didn't care. I didn't want to do it. I didn't enjoy it. I wanted to do something else. Be an entrepreneur. Be a boxer. Be a teacher. Be a speaker. I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to do that. And I got traumatized in school. And the last thing I wanted to do was go to university. But I. I admire people did, but people that have come to me, have got degrees in psychology and politics and all that, but they're terrified to speak to a woman. They're absolutely petrified because they've got no experience, and that's why they come on the course with me. And it doesn't matter about how many degrees you've got, or how many TED Talks you've watched, or because are you living it? Are you facing it? And I can honestly say I'm living it. And it ain't easy sometimes. I struggle with it too, but I still make it work. So I'm passionate because it's the truth. And I had to work my ass off to get this. It's not all glamorous like it looks. Yes, there's been a lot of success with women. It's been great having all these fans, and I made a good living over the years out of doing what I love and getting to meet people and be on interview shows. And I get stopped all the time. I got stopped. I was on a date with a girl I'm dating a few days ago, and this really nice guy just come out. I was in Cafe Royal. I was in quite a posh place, nice place. I didn't even know who this guy was. He was with a woman. I just thought they were together. And he got up, walked over, and shook my hand and said, "I'm a big fan. Nice to meet you, Johnny Berba." And I'm not bragging here. I'm just, there's a point to what I'm saying. And please, guys, it's going to really help you. I'm getting the truth out. I'm getting stuff out. And this is a big part of getting good with women. Because a lot of guys, we keep stuff in. We're scared to get our feelings out. So I'm kind of doing that today. I am sick and tired of people that talk about facing fear, this, that, and the other, but they are not showing the proof. The reason why I went to my mentors and paid them a lot of money and worked with them, because they showed me the proof in their life. I trust them, and it was the best investment. So, look, I've got so much experience, Matt, and people have said to me, and I know, like, you should write books, Johnny. I should write a book. And I'll be honest, I'm a little bit lazy of writing a book. And I started an ebook. I don't feel that inspired at this point. I prefer teaching and the practical stuff rather than too much intellectual stuff, but at some point. But, like, why aren't they getting me on the TED Talks? I've got 32,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's quite big. It's not the biggest channel, but it's big enough. I've touched the world. I've changed lives around the world. I've got something to say. My teaching's scientific. It works. It's practical. It's the truth. The only way to overcome fear is to face it. And that sounds so simple. And there's a lot of teachers that are going to say it, but they're not facing the fear. They're saying it, but they're not facing it. And they're making a living out of just talking. So, I ain't perfect. I ain't claiming to be perfect. Believe me, I've got a ton of issues, like all you guys have. I've struggled all my life with paranoia, bouts of anxiety, bouts of depression, loneliness, emotional problems, all that stuff. Obsessive thoughts, negative thinking, worrying about everything, about money, about people, about being judged, about upsetting my family, about being criticized, all of it, all this stuff I've had. But one of the things I'm proud of, despite all of this mental illness, I've gone out and, what's the word? And I've been brave and been courageous and faced my fear and inspired the whole, people around the world to do it. So I really wanted to give you guys a real insight of where I'm coming from. I'm not talking about my country. I'm talking about, who I am as a person, who I was before all the success of women and the following on YouTube. Because really, that's what you guys want to find out. You want to find out who you are. And unfortunately, if you don't face these fears in your life, you're never really going to get to grips with who you are. And again, now that's getting floated around. People will say, find out who you are, take my course. But are you living it? And, I used to be a person who didn't live it. So I wouldn't even go on YouTube and teach. I wouldn't have the integrity to do it because I wouldn't be qualified to talk about it. So I guess what I'm saying to you guys is you've seriously got to take action. It isn't enough just to go on TED and watch TED Talks, even though I like TED as well. And I would love to get an opportunity to speak on that. And I'm asking the universe, I'm asking God, can you give me that opportunity? I really want to make a difference to people's lives. And also I want to face my fear because I'm going to be petrified to do a TED talk, but I know I can do it. So, one of the things I want to mention is it's okay to be afraid as well. Like Johnny Berba's scared too. I'm scared before I go out and approach the women. I'm scared sometimes when I upload YouTube videos. I'm scared when I meet new people. I'm scared of more success. I'm scared of being judged. I'm scared of upsetting my parents. But I will still face the fear despite being scared. And that's what it really comes down to, because we're all scared at a level. At a fundamental level, we are human, and this is what they were saying at the Harvard talk. This was the part of it that I did like, but I didn't watch it all. I went through it all and there was no solution. All they talked about was the problem, the amygdala, the brain, how the brain gets activated. Okay, that's good and well. The fight or flight response, our emotional, our adrenals, our adrenaline, our perception of threat. Most of fear comes from we feel threatened, and a fear of separation. That was their conclusion. And that's good because, look, I guess today I brought that to the talk. But I've got to be honest, that's not me speaking, that's them. My truth is showing the infill video, showing the proof. So people watch that and go, you know what? Normal guy, not perfect. I know I'm socially not perfect as well. I have issues, never denied that. I'm awkward. I stutter a lot, but I'm confident, aren't I? I'm not hiding, and I don't want to. I try not to be like I'm bragging, but I've got to also value myself, which I do. And I'm a confident guy and go out and get great results with women. And more importantly, I'm great at helping other people to do it. I've been doing it for such a long time, almost a decade now. We're going over 8 years. So I've got so much experience. But I guess I still feel like maybe my truth has not been fully validated and recognized in the mainstream media and in the larger part of society. Obviously, you guys know who I am, and we speak the same language and we help each other. So too much knowledge, too much talking. And I went for a walk today when I bought this shirt, and I just wanted to go for a nice walk. And I did one approach today. I only felt inspired to do one. But do you know what? When I did that, I come away and I thought, wow, most people can't do one approach. They can't do it. I'm not judging them. There's a point to what I'm saying. Stay on board. I just saw a woman. She looked attractive. I'm dating someone at the moment, so I don't want to. She's not my girlfriend, but I don't feel the need to sleep with other women. But I wanted to just go and give this woman a compliment. It felt good. I just wanted to get social and get out of my head, and I wanted to feel better when I was doing this live stream, give you guys better energy. And the woman appreciated it, and I walked off and went and bought some clothes, socks, pants, got a shirt, and had a shower. And at that moment, I had a realization. I was like, sometimes I undervalue myself, I undervalue what I teach, and I undervalue what my clients are doing, students, what you guys are doing. And it's not because I'm a bad person, it's because the way, I suppose it might come back to one of my own insecurities, but the way that I feel that society kind of doesn't value my truth, which is the only really true way to overcome fear is to go out and face it, and to do it a lot of times until you become used to it. You know how to handle it. You build up a lot of courage. And that goes for every area of your life. And that's the essence of the truth that I continue to teach people. So what I'm saying is, it's all good and well sitting down in university lectures, listening to lecturers that are qualified with degrees and master degrees. But how many of those could walk out on the streets of London, walk up to a beautiful woman and tell her that she's beautiful? They can't do it. Otherwise, they would do it. Okay, and maybe there's an argument that you might say, well, they're married, they can't go out and cheat on their wives. Okay, you don't need to cheat on your wife. I don't want people cheating. I don't encourage that. You can still go out and speak to a human being then. You don't have to go out and try and seduce them and sleep with them. Because I'm not trying to sleep with every woman that I approach. Sometimes you just do it, I'm just because I want to be social and I want to face that fear. So you guys know deep down what you've got to do. I suppose you're looking for an easier way out. So you have to do it. You have to face the fear, and that is it. That's the truth. But what I'm going to talk about today is, even though people know that, and I've said that millions of times on the channel, and there's so many videos of me documenting that, and that's why, again, not bragging, that's why people, and this is not an exaggeration, this is not for points or promotion, this is, I'm telling the truth. This is why, over the 8 years I've been teaching, people have traveled all around the world to come to London to meet me and do my boot camp and do my practical coaching and spend 2 days with me. Some have spent 6 weeks with me, some have done 6 days in a row. And I can go through some of the countries now, and I'm going to explain what I'm alluding to. Austria, I worked with a guy from Austria. I'm probably going to forget so many people. He traveled from Austria to do my 6 week program in London. Another guy traveled from Barcelona, Spain. He did my weekend boot camp 2 days with me. Another guy, a good friend of mine, he traveled from Malta. He came twice. He came 2 years ago, or 2 years ago, I believe. He done a boot camp with me. Next year, I was shocked. I got an email. I want to do another one for you. He came back again. Another friend of mine from Germany. All these are all countries. I'm going through them now because this is how powerful truth is. Another guy come from Germany. He's been here and worked with me now. He's coming again because I am a boot camp. He's paid me for that long ago. He's been here, I think, 4 times. Just so I don't exaggerate, let me say 3. I think it's 4. He's been here 3 times. He's traveled from Germany to work with me in London because he's enjoyed it so much. He's done a boot camp, and he recently done a 6 weeks program with me, but we did it over 6 days. This doesn't end here. Another guy has come from, what country was it? It wasn't China. It was one of the Asian countries. I can't remember exactly which one it was. He flew over and worked with me. Of course, how could I forget? I'm not going to say his name. He's a really good friend of mine. Come from America, come from New York. Had discovered my stuff. Had another mentor. Had been getting mentorship, spiritual teachers, and he meditated and he told me he had a spiritual experience and he felt God say he has to come over and work with me. It's the right thing to do. Do you know how many times he's been over and worked with me? And obviously now we're friends. We don't have a student-teacher relationship no more. He's come and worked with me in London 7 times from the United States of America, from New York. He's from, he lives in Queens. All these people have traveled around the world to come and work with me. I'm an ordinary person who didn't make it in school. And there's more. I'm going to keep naming the countries because I need to value myself more as well. If I'm teaching you guys to value yourself more, and I know, I'm sorry guys today if it feels like I'm speaking a lot about myself, but I'm just telling the truth, getting it out, because I give so much value, and I need to stop listening to the voice that keeps judging me, saying no matter how much I do, it isn't enough. I'm doing the best I can, man. What other countries are there where people have flown over and worked with me? There's more. There's so many people that I can't remember all of them. I know their faces, but their names. So there's other countries. There's more. And that's not including the people that have worked with me in London, that are like from Italy, that are from Italy, that live in London. So there's people that in London, there's English people, there's people that are outside of London, there's people from Newcastle that come work with me, Scotland, Edinburgh, Manchester, Birmingham. I've mentored people from all around the world. So it's not like it's not bollocks I'm talking. And then there's people over Skype. So why would these people from all around the world watch one of my videos and go, you know what? I'm going to spend hundreds of pounds on this guy's course. I'm going to spend £500-600 or £2,000 or £1,500, and I'm going to fly over when they've got coaches in their country. I'm not the only coach who teaches confidence and helps people to meet women and deal with social anxiety and all this kind of stuff. And they say to me, the reason I came over, 2 reasons. One is because you're honest. You're the most honest one I've seen on YouTube. There's other good people, but they're not dishonest, but you're the most honest. I trust you. Number 2, you show it. You show the failures. You're not scared to show that you get rejected by women, and you show it on camera. You don't hide that. And you show the success. And you share your story. You talk about your social anxiety. You talk about your challenges. You know, difficult relationships growing up. You know, you put it all out there, and I just know, I just trust that it's the right thing to come and work with you. So I must have found something that is of value. And you know, at the end of the day, it's I'm passionate about the truth. So you know, at the end, it's cutting through the BS, and there is a lot of BS on the internet. There is. You know, there's a lot of stuff in personal development where they're not telling the truth. And thank God now there are more people coming out who are very honest that I do admire. And they've got the proof and they back it up. You know, they show it. They show the results. So you know, and listen, I don't film everything that I do. Obviously, I've got a private life, and there's not always a camera on me. And you know, but there is enough evidence on YouTube to show that I have found a scientific truth that works, can help any human being who is really struggling with fear and anxiety, mental health, low self-esteem, shyness, anxiety, and it can change their life. And that's despite you having all these issues, because I've got all these issues that all of you guys got too. And you know what? I'm not ashamed of it like I used to be. I'm not embarrassed about it. I'm proud of it, because I wouldn't be who I am otherwise. I wouldn't have compassion for other people. I wouldn't have got good with women. I would never have all this. I wouldn't have been helping so many people and friends that I've made and the videos that I've made. And it goes beyond that. It's bigger than that. I'm not, you know, so, you know, I think what I'm saying is that you need to be really hungry for the truth if you want to succeed at this. And I know that it goes way beyond just guys wanting to sleep with women. I'm not about that. That's not what my teaching is about. I'm not a sex coach or teach guys to sleep loads of women. That, you know, that's not my message. You know, sleeping with a woman, of course, that's part of a relationship, but that's not fundamentally what I focus on. I focus on confidence building, communication, being able to, courage, being able to walk up and speak to a girl when you're nervous, but still do it, and to do it with honesty. Something that they didn't speak about in this Harvard lecture, they didn't talk much about honesty. And why is honesty important with facing fear? Because if you're not honest about what you're facing, it's very difficult to face it and defeat it, if that makes sense. If you're not honest about what you're insecure about, then you're never going to get past it. So, and it's important to come from that honest place, which is where I always come from. When I'm doing whatever I'm doing, when I'm doing the live streams, when I'm going out and meeting women, and it ain't perfect, but it's very beautiful and good enough. So it doesn't need to be perfect. But I don't like, I know, and I do understand it's relevant when some of you guys go, well, some of the videos you should be more professional. But at the end of the day, guys, I don't need to be in a theatre or like a green screen behind me to tell the truth. I don't. And yes, some of the videos I have, they are very professional, and I loved hiring and paying more money for a filmmaker because it felt right in that time at that project. But I'm not always going to do it. Like, it feels good just to whack on the live stream. I'm in my flat now. I just got out of the shower. It's not perfect lighting, it's good enough, but it's the truth. And if you listen to it and go and practice, it's going to change your life. So you know, it was important, and I never would have been able to help as many people as I've helped them continue without putting out those demonstration videos, you know, social experiments or whatever you call them. And that hasn't been easy for me either. I've had to face my fear and do that because obviously everyone judges me. I'm not going to complain about that. I choose to put myself out there, but it's still a fear. And then I've got to face the fear of being filmed while speaking to women, which adds massive pressure. It's easy for me to do it when there's no camera on me, but then I've got comfortable. So on every level, I'm facing my fear, whilst most of these intellectual teachers and psychologists and scientists and biologists, they're not facing enough fear in their life. I know it. They have not done the deep therapy work that I've done. I just can tell by what they're saying. I can sense it. And obviously they've done it in some areas. Everyone's faced fear in some areas. So I think my truth stands in much higher regard because it's coming from a lot more experience and actually doing it. So you guys, it's really important that you've got the mindset. Yeah, it's important, I think, that you've got the mindset that I've got. And you don't be me, you need to be yourself, obviously. Everyone is an individual. But the mindset is everything I've been saying for the last 35 minutes. It's no bullshit. There's no hiding. It's not rationalizing. It's not half-assed. It's straight into it. You know, this is basically what my father taught me when I was younger. I was getting bullied, take me out and make me face the person and have a fist fight. That's what we did back in the day. So that's what I learned in boxing. It wasn't enough to go in and hit a heavy bag or just skip and look pretty. They put you in the ring and throw you in the deep and make you spar, and you have to sink or swim. So I've lived like kind of my whole life like that, and that's why I've got, I suppose, a very stoic, no bullshit, very raw, practical approach to facing fear and anxiety, because everything else don't work. It's secondary. Or when I say it doesn't work, yeah, it doesn't work. Like, it helps, but it doesn't fully take away the pain. So if I can really translate to you guys energetically, the mindset, so you can switch and get that on. You can go out and approach as many women as you want. You can do public speaking. You can do anything. The confidence that I've gained from approaching women in public and teaching thousands of students to do it has given me the confidence to go out and do public talks. It's given me the confidence to put myself out on social media and be myself and be vulnerable and be, outspoken and do live streams and make YouTube videos and do Facebooks and to travel and to do so many things in my life, to face so many psychological fears on a practical level, to do business, to learn how to sell, to learn how to market yourself. Fears of facing the fears of going to the gym, swimming, to change my fashion. It's transferred into every single area of my life. So if you guys face the fear, your life's going to change. And my story's been, if you don't face the fear, your life is going to get worse, and your mental health is very likely to get worse. Your depression, your social anxiety will increase by not facing people and speaking to them. It ain't going to decrease. It ain't, in my experience. So it's exciting because the truth is simple, practical, but it's people getting their head round dealing with this feeling that comes up that is triggered from the amygdala, the nervous system, the fight or flight. I don't have to know all the names and everything behind it. It sounds more fancy if you know the scientific terms, but I know that I know the actual truth. And that's that you've got to go into the feeling, whether you're speaking to a girl, whether it's a business meeting, whether it's a psychological fear of going to the gym or being in public. It's the same feeling. It's just a different scenario or different situation. But if you practice the feeling enough times, you get desensitized to it, you get stronger. And then you can go and do anything because you know how to manage this feeling and communicate in the world. So, and I've had it. I've had so many people that have said they've gone to therapy and it didn't help. It didn't do the trick. And then they come to me and said, your one worked. Your one totally worked. Your one was the truth. Because the therapist didn't take them out and teach them how to speak to women. They're in therapy. Most of the guys that I've eventually worked with, they're in therapy because they're lonely and they're depressed. And they've obviously got a mental health problem because they don't have a woman in their life. And they're scared to speak to women. They've got social anxiety, they've got woman anxiety, conversation anxiety. And, talking may relieve them of their pain, but it won't fully take it away. The only thing is, yes, exposure therapy. And that is the Johnny Berba teaching. And I didn't even know it was called that. That's just obviously psychologists. They always name things and label it and then, make it their own. But I was doing exposure therapy and teaching it, almost a decade ago. And I started it 13 years ago, approaching myself when I was trying to figure out what's wrong with me. Why am I so frightened? Why can't I get a girlfriend? Why can't I speak to people? Why can't I, live life? Why can't I live every day? Why am I in such fear and anxiety all the time and depression? And it was because I weren't taking action in my life. And when I started to take action, the joy that my depression started to go, my mental health improved. I got a girlfriend. I moved out of my parents. I, had a full-time living doing what I loved, and I was successful myself. And then I started successfully coaching other people, and things just got better and better and better. So this will change your life. I'm basically saying to you, yes, yeah, I'm going to be straight with you guys. If you guys have got bad anxiety at the moment and you don't go out and confront this and speak to women, you're going to get worse. You're not going to get a woman, because women, they do want confident men. And all of you, every single one of you on this live stream now, every one of you can succeed with women. Every one of you can do what I've done, and surpass me if you like. All of you can, but you have to take action. You've got to be brave. You've got to face that terrifying feeling. And I've openly admitted to you, I've been terrified so many times, but I've stepped up to the plate. And I've learned what my father taught me, what my boxing trainers taught me, what my mentors taught me. That it's fine to be scared, because that's being human, but it's not fine to not face it. Being a man's facing it. Look at the history of men, if we want to go deeper and want to get really philosophical and spiritual. Look at the great men. Look at all of them. They were petrified in moments if you study their life, but they faced it, and they conquered their demons, and they succeeded in their potential. And that's played out in films, in theatre. They're all based on, even the fictional stories are based on truth. And what I did was I listened to that ancestral, collective courage, confidence that was in my father, that he passed on to me, his ancestors, my ancestors, your ancestors, our ancestors, the great men of our history, their ancestors, that intrinsic spirit that runs through every single man, no matter how much mental illness he has, issues, anxieties, fears, worries, doubts, voices, it doesn't matter. He has that spirit within him. But will he awaken it? Will he awaken that confidence in him? And it's not ego. I'm not talking about that. I'm not really interested in that. To a certain aspect, as Eckhart Tolle said, of course, having a healthy ego is healthy. To be confident, to believe in yourself, to appreciate your accomplishments. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about the heartfelt truth. And I've got loads of voices coming up now judging me, saying I'm cheesy, I'm pathetic, I'm not being a man. I don't listen to that. I know I'm being a man. I've proved my manliness so many times. And that's not really my point here. My point is, I'm trying to get across to the next man I feel very emotional now. Wow, this is good. What has changed my life and continued to change my life. And it hasn't been easy. It has not been easy. It's not been easy doing all this, because I'm partially shy, introverted, insecure, sensitive, very, very caring about what other people think about me. I'm a bit paranoid as well. I'm a bit of a depressant person, but there's a champion in me. I always had it as a young boy, and he can't die no matter what I've been through. Rejection, pain, criticism, I've had it all. You guys have had it all as well. There's a champion in every single one of you. But this champion will never be realized if you don't go out and be able to walk up to a woman in public and be genuine with her and say, "Hi, nice to meet you. My name's Joe. I think you're attractive. I think you're lovely. I just want to talk to you. Where are you from? Or, I'd like to invite you out. Would you like to come out with me?" Simple. No bullshitting, no bollocks, no tricking women, no lying, no acting up. Just being yourself. Relaxed, calm. Even if you say, "Look, I'm shaking with fear right now. I'm nervous. I'm shy. But I had to push myself and come over and speak to you because you look great. and I'm attracted to you, and I'm interested in you, and I like this about you. Whatever you want to say, just tell the truth. Be honest. And when you do that, you're going to feel great about yourself, you know. And you know, in my experience, I'm not taking on the negative story of the world. Of all the thousands of women I've approached, I can categorically, honestly say from my heart, most of them have been so positive and receptive to me coming over and speaking to them. Most of them. When I look at the ones that have been negative and I do the numbers, it is a small percentage of women. If I was to, let's just say, I don't have the exact numbers, but I'll do the best I can to articulate the my real experience of going out and doing this for 13 years and teaching for 8 years. I would say 75%, maybe higher. 75% of women that I've approached over the 13 years on the street in public, trains, coffee shops, you know, without me having drugs in my system or alcohol, sober, being genuine, being myself, you know, being vulnerable, they have been nice. And the reason why they've been like that, because I've treated them like that. And obviously the ones, of course, there's going to be some that they didn't like me. I made them feel uncomfortable. I didn't mean to, but they did. Or they were in a bad mood that day, or they'd gone through something in their life, or they didn't like being approached, and I respected that. The odds are too positive. But the universities won't tell you this. The society we live in won't tell you, because it's all funded on negativity and drama and ego and unconsciousness, unintelligence. What's the oldest client I've taught? I don't even know off the top of my head. I think probably close to 60. That's what I can remember. So yeah, that's the oldest client I've taught. And not to mention, I forget the amount of clients that I've taught, the experience I've got. And obviously, I'm not taking all the credit. These are great people. And I'm not just saying it because they came on my course and they paid me, irrespective of whether they paid me or not. And I've done stuff for free as well. And that's my own personal thing. I've mentored lots of people for free. No one knows about that. And then what I'm even going to say, I'm just saying it's come out today. These are very brave people like myself. And they've gone out and got the results. And some of these people you guys have watched on YouTube, but that's not all of them. That's just like 5% of the people that, you know, allowed me to film the transformation. They wanted to go on YouTube. Most of the clients didn't want to go on YouTube, didn't want to be filmed. I respected that. So a lot of people have done it. You know, and you know, you guys are still talking about videos that I've done like 6 years ago. That's amazing. That's still made an impression on you. You can go back now and watch my old videos, and I know that I'm younger there. I'm more confident now, but it's still the truth in it. You still can learn and grow from it. So I think I'm really talking today is that you guys have got to get proof for yourself. You've got to get experience. It isn't enough just to keep watching people and listening to them talk about lectures on fear, anxiety, and the science of you know, how our mind works and stuff like that. Obviously, it's good to educate yourself on that, but I'm sure you've done that already. It's all about taking action. That's the real science. That's where the real education is. That's where the master's degree is at, out in the practical world. That's when you really find out who you are, and that's when you learn about fear. I've got a master's degree in fear because I've faced that feeling for 15 years in every area of my life. I'll go for the areas now where I was frightened and where I faced and conquered and mastered. And again, I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. I'm way far from perfect, believe me. I've got a lot of issues. So, fear of people, petrified of people all my life, especially up until early 20s. Faced the fear of people by mentoring hundreds of people, meeting new people, speaking in public, speaking to hundreds of women, doing video blogs, going on interview shows, film, you know, a TV series that didn't air me in the final cut. I still went on it. That was scary. I faced that. My terror of public speaking, my legs used to be shaking. I couldn't speak. I'd go whiter than I am now. Hundreds of public talks, got good at public speaking. Terrified of money, terrified of business, was frightened of it, didn't know how to do it. scared of asking people for money, scared of charging people when I first started in business, scared to get on the phone, scared to negotiate, afraid to charge people. You know, of course I'm going to have all these fears. They come from low self-esteem originally, but I faced it and got good at it and learned how to do business, learned how to negotiate, learned how to make money. You know, I was scared to first start teaching. Wasn't sure if I was good enough, was nervous. What if I don't help the person? What if they get angry at me? What if they get disappointed? What if they judge me? What if they think he's crap, he's not a good teacher? Faced the fear, built the confidence up, got very good at teaching, happy clients. Did it? What other fear I had? Of course, a fear of sex with women. Petrified, absolutely petrified of it. Couldn't get erections, erectile dysfunction, ashamed of my body. Struggled to make eye contact with women. Didn't know how to please a woman. Was awkward, didn't know how to go for the kiss, didn't know where to touch a woman. Paralyzed with anxiety, awkward as fuck. Faced it head on many times. I'm not bragging again. I'm just getting stuff out. Faced it. Dated and slept with beautiful women from all around the world. And that's not an exaggeration, that is the truth. And I'm not advocating men. I'm not encouraging young men or old men to sleep with loads of women. That's their choice. But I'm not promoting that. I'm just saying what I did, the fears I faced, because I was petrified of sleeping with women. And I built my confidence up. I got more sexually confident and more comfortable being naked. Because most of us are not. We don't talk about these things as men because we're ashamed of it. But we need to get it out and overcome it. So I had to get comfortable in my body. Couldn't go into a shower and shower naked. Was embarrassed. My willy was too small. Men would laugh at me. Their willies would be bigger than mine. I had all that as a kid. Trauma, insecurity. Faced it. Started going in, showering, you know, in more open showers. I was afraid to go to a gym. I was afraid to join the gym. I was scared to go and get the membership in case I got anxious in the situation because of social anxiety. Faced it, joined the gym, went to boxing gyms, sparred. Had a terrifying fear of having a boxing match. Faced it. Had first boxing match. I got beaten. Yeah, I put my hands up. I lost. He's a better man. He beat me. In my first boxing match, I got beaten. But I had the courage to do it. My first fight, I fought in front of a massive crowd of people. Frank Bruno was in the crowd, famous heavyweight champion. And Henry Cooper, another famous. My first fight, I got thrown in deep and I was 25 years of age. I was proud of myself. I lost the fight, but I won the war. I faced fear in so many areas of my life, you know. Fears of when I started to get more successful and famous. I was terrified about that. And people started coming up to me on the street. It was strange. Faced that fear. Fear of going into any fancy hotel, because my old psychology was I'm not good enough to be in expensive places. I come from you know, working class background, and I come from a normal upbringing, and this is for rich people, and I'm not like this. I'm not good enough. Didn't believe that anymore. Challenged it. Now I can go in been going to those places for years. I did it as a practice, as a practice of facing fear. I've been obsessed with fear and there's what other areas that traveling. Was terrified to travel. So I didn't know I was going to speak about all this today. And maybe, okay, I'm not talking about techniques. This is how you go out and meet women on the street, this mindset. And the truth of what I'm saying the vibration of it will resonate with you. It will inspire you. You will know in your heart that my words are honest, that there's no exaggeration, there's no lies, there's no manipulation or exaggeration or promotion or bollocks. It's a man telling the complete truth about all of it. And in every area that I've chosen to face my fear, I've succeeded in. And my mind told me I can't do it. Told me that for years. Told me that I'm worthless, I'm horrible, I'm ugly, I'm disgraceful, I'm ashamed, I'm greedy, I'm arrogant, all this horrible judgment. But none of it was true when I went out and faced the fear. So it cleans up the mental confusion that all men have or people have, you know. So practical action has been my therapy, and that's what I've taught because it works. It's beautiful. So yeah, now I'm going to answer some questions, and I'm going to go into some stuff that I think is helpful with meeting women on the street and in public. how you can succeed with it. So have a little bit of a break. God, I'm out of breath. I've been speaking for almost an hour. That was like I went on a bit of a rant there, but yeah. I almost feel like today in our culture, in our society, and maybe this is just me, I don't know, but people, like, it's almost like people are offended by the rawness of the truth. It's like it offends them because a lot of these people have gone university for many years, and someone like me comes along who hasn't gone university, who doesn't have degrees, but is living it and succeeding and got the proof and has got tremendous courage because I've got so much experience, real experience, not not sitting down with papers and just reading and writing and memorizing and talking crap, just talking nonsense, ego speaking, bragging and big talk. But where does your bragging and big talk get when you're forced in a situation to face your fear and your legs are shaking and your heart's beating out of your chest and your mind's racing 100 miles an hour and you're petrified and your ego has collapsed? Where's your degrees then? Where's your Harvard and Cambridge and Yale and all this intellectualization? Where does that get you? But a counter argument is, if you take action, then you're going to be a powerful man because, yes, you're going to have the intellectual awareness and understanding of how to fight fear and overcome it, and you're going to have the practical experience. Then I can't say nothing. I can't judge you on that. You're truthful in every area, but most of them haven't. Most of them are just marketers. They just talk. I'm not a marketer. That doesn't feel right for me. Okay, yes, this is marketing, but for me, this ain't marketing. This is me telling the truth. This is me being myself. It's me being congruent and honest. So if people want to call that marketing, then okay, but it doesn't feel like marketing to me. When I think of marketing, I think of someone talking bullshit to manipulate me to buy stuff that is not going to help me. But it's different if someone is coming from the truth, like I am, telling the truth, and actually giving it to you for free for yourself. And then if you want to do the paid stuff, yeah, I'll charge you for that course. It's my time and expertise, but I'm giving it to you for free now. So there are no catches. There are no, give me your bank details and I'm going to give you the truth. I'll just give it to you for free right now. And look at the YouTube channel. It's full of, it's all on there for free. Realistically speaking, this would put me out of business, but it's the truth. None of you would need to come and get coaching from me if you just followed your heart, because your heart would say, go and face your fears. And if you just spent a week facing your fears, you'd be a different person now. You'd be so much more confident. So there is a contradiction in truth. I will openly admit, and I'm proud of it, and I know deep down, I'm getting deep there. Yes, the mental side of it, I've got every insecurity that you can imagine that you've got. I'm going to expose myself now, and all of you, and all of the intellectual lecturers, because they're not talking about their issues. They're too scared to expose themselves. I'm not afraid to do it. Well, actually, I am afraid, but I'm not afraid to be afraid and then to just admit it. I have all those voices. I still have them now. I still have it to this day. I'm 35 years of age. I've got a ton of experience with women. I've succeeded in business and all this stuff. I still get voices saying I'm not good enough. I still get voices saying that, I've done something wrong in my past. I should be ashamed. Or I still have shame. Definitely do. I still suffer from occasional anxiety. I still get nervous from time to time when I meet new people. I still can feel nervous going on a date with a woman. I still get days where I doubt myself. I do. But it doesn't really matter because I've got truth. And that truth has got the results. And that's what people want at the end of the day. They want the honest truth and they want to get results. So I really want to inspire men because I think when I started, it was very hard for me to relate to teachers on YouTube and think, because they're not being honest. They're not saying to me that they have the voices that I do. What they're really saying is, I'm better than you. And I can teach you, but from a place of arrogance. And I'm not teaching from that place. I'm not better than you. I'm more braver than you are, definitely at this point. That's because I've practiced. But if you want me to help you, you can become as brave as I am or more braver than me. That's your choice. Or we can grow together and challenge each other in a non-competitive, egotistical, jealous, insecure way. So it's important for me personally, because I like to be honest with myself, and it's important that I'm honest with you guys and say, and then some of you might go, I don't know, I'm just guessing, your egos might be disappointed because it's like, oh, now we can find flaws in Johnny. He's not the perfect guy we thought he was, or he has these issues still. Or you can be positive and go, how inspiring is that? This guy is the same as me. He has all these psychological fears and issues, but he's still been able to go out and get a lot of success with women and live his dreams and fulfill his potential and show who he is and face his demons and change his life around and change people's lives around the world. And he's got tremendous confidence, but he still shakes on the inside. He still has fears. He still feels it, but he knows how to manage it. And he's brave as fuck. So you can take on two stories. So, you know, all of what I'm saying is how you meet women on the street. It's all relevant. You know, you've got to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with your voices. And I know it's not comfortable, guys. It's not comfortable for me. I don't like admitting that I've had all my life, I've suffered with paranoia. Obviously, I don't have it every minute of every day. It ain't like that. But when I was younger, it was like that. And it can get triggered and I can feel like that. I suffer with depression. I do. If I don't do creative work and I don't do what I love and I don't teach and I don't add value and I don't speak to women, I don't go out and socialize, I get depressed. And even, I'm going to say it, it needs to be said. And but it makes me feel better from age, I can't remember, is that from age 19, all the way up until 35, I occasionally have suicidal thoughts. And probably our society goes, oh, can't believe you said that. Because he's a teacher, I'm not, I don't want to be perfect. I don't want to be a fake teacher like that. I want to be real with people because I want to be like that myself. But I'm not going to go and commit suicide. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually in a good place now. But those thoughts can come. And I know that all of you guys have those thoughts. It's just a question of, are you going to have the courage to admit it? I can't force you. All of you get it. If you're struggling with big doses of fear, which most people are today, women too, and I'll talk about that in another video, people today don't talk about it. That's probably why there's so much suicide, because men don't have a place to speak. They're afraid. They're scared to talk about it. They're ashamed. I'm not going to have this anymore. I'm not having it in myself, and I want to help more people. So maybe some of you are going to, I don't know. I'm just assuming, I can't know. You might go, well, Johnny's gone really deep. Like, I thought this was a talk about how to just attract girls from the street. It is, but it's much more, it's all of it. Now, how have we come to suicide? Well, we need to talk about suicide, and they didn't talk about that at Harvard talk because it's too truthful for them. It's too uncomfortable. Because fear, anxiety, depression, not taking action in your life, not developing a healthy confidence and self-esteem and courage can easily lead to suicide. I've had loads and loads of emails from people again around the world saying, I was suicidal until I watched your video, it saved my life. Or I had terrible, all of it, anxiety or paranoia or jealousy or loneliness. They're all in that category. But what I've learned in my life, and this is just personally me, I'm not preaching on people, but I believe in God. And a lot of you have asked me, are you a Christian? Yeah, I'm a Christian, but I'm not like going to start bashing on. And I don't feel that's my way of doing things. God's made me like this. This is my way of helping people and doing what I feel. I hope I'm doing God's work. I hope I'm doing the right thing. Again, I'm just a man. I'm trying to do the best I can and do the right thing. I believe I am. Who knows? I hope I am. So faith is important for me personally. I think it's important. But I'll leave that to you guys, having a faith and believing in God, or believing in love, or believing in there's light at the end of the tunnel. So what I want to share today, and this makes me really emotional, and this inspires me. The loneliness that I felt throughout most of my life and childhood in periods, the anxiety, the paranoia, the horrible, horrible inner repetitive thoughts, the judgmental ones, the insecurities, the worries about life, people not being good enough, and all that. The anger that I've had in me from a childhood, from being bullied and judged and all that. Now, thank God, I'm way less angry and I don't take it out on people. I've got good self-control, but I'm just talking from the past and now. The anger, the loneliness, the paranoia, the shame, the amount of shame that I felt being young, ashamed because of having mental health problems, or anxiety, fear-related stuff, panic attacks, all this kind of stuff, and the loneliness too. What I've done in my best moments is I've channeled all that and gone, right, I've got all these feelings, I feel this way, I have this going on. I don't want to be a victim. I'm not a victim. I don't want sympathy, and I don't want to put shit on other people, and I don't want to put pain on other people, and I don't want to put stress on my family or anyone. How can I be a strong human being, a man, and take responsibility and do something about this and transform this pain, darkness into something fucking beautiful and honest? And the way I've done that is by taking all those feelings and fears and beliefs and channel it into facing the fear. And when I face the fear, it therapeutically, it takes that voice away. And I didn't even know I was going to say this today. I'll be straight with you guys. In my head today, I was like, I'm just going to do a regular talk. I'm going to teach these guys how to attract women from the street. But I'm like, you know what? It's boring because I've done it so many times in the videos. I need to give something a lot more deeper, because this is really what the guys need to hear. I need to say this because I need to face my own fears and be more vulnerable. It's going to help all of us, right? So when I do that, and I swear to God, why would I lie? When I do that, that voice that I've had as a kid that says directly to me, "You're not good enough, Jonathan," it goes away, and a different voice comes. And this is not like I'm not like, an intuitive feeling comes and tells me 100%, you are good enough. You're a kind person. You're a genuine person. You're not a perfect person, but you're a genuine and you're a kind person. And you do care about people, and you are genuine, and you are good enough, and you're talented, and you're not socially inept, and you're not weak, and you're not dumb, and you're not thick, and you're not stupid, and you're not paranoid, and you care about people, and you're courageous. You're special, and your family are special, and your dad's special, and you have a purpose, and you can succeed. And then I go and do it. And then I'm literally, in my own personal life, I'm thanking God, saying I'm so thankful, because I didn't think I could do it, because I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't believe it. I didn't fully believe I was good enough until I went and did it and got the proof. And that has played out in everything in my life I've done. Before I've done it, I never felt good enough. And these gurus, most of them, they're not going to say that, because they want the perfect image. They want everyone to think they're perfect. They make loads of money. They get all the women. Everyone loves them. They're client. It's not perfect life, man. I'm not perfect. Neither are you. Let's cut the bullshit. But we can make something beautiful from it. And I feel great now, because today, I didn't feel great today, if I'm being honest, waking up. Generally, like I've said, I feel in a really good place. And you guys can tell that. And it's important that I'm honest about that with you and myself. I've got to value myself, be honest. And there's been some, I want to talk about some great influences for me after. A lot of great men that have really helped me, because I'm not being arrogant about this, because I've got another voice saying I'm coming across arrogant, because I've got a lot of good friends and people that have helped me. I will say credit to my father as well. I always want to thank my dad. He's probably not going to see this, but if he did see it, I personally thanked him, but I don't think you can thank your dad enough for what my dad has done to me and my parents. But anyway, I'll leave it as that because it's a bit uncomfortable for me, all this stuff. But anyway, so where was I? When I take action, all of my pain goes away. And then my paranoia goes away. I stop feeling paranoid. And it's like my social anxiety goes. And then I'm like, actually, most people are pretty nice. Like most people you can trust. Because I forgot that voice all my life. Can't trust people. Can't trust anyone. Everyone has an agenda. Everyone is going to, at some point, betray you. Everyone is going to attack you. Everyone is going to take advantage of your weaknesses or your kindness. And I know that you guys are going through that too. A lot of men have it. We all have it at some level. So that goes away from me. That sort of selfish, victim, paranoid state, it goes away. And then I fall into a totally different state of consciousness. I just feel more trusting with people. I trust myself more. And I want to help people more. I want to be kind and so forth. So all of this therapy, all of this healing comes from practical action. So what you guys have got to do to succeed with women, you've got to get past your mental illness or mental health or whatever you want to call it. I know that sounds extreme. Some of you might not have, mental health problems, but you've got voices. You've got these insecurities. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on the live stream. So you've got to get past that. And I think every individual man has to find his own signature way of doing that. Even though I teach a teaching that it helps everyone, but within everyone that I've coached, I don't coach everyone the same because everyone's got different psychology, different personalities. So how do you get yourself to face fear? You've got to kind of answer that question. And the various ways that I've done it is by, having a personal conversation with myself. And I've always said it. And I don't even know if my dad is aware of it or he did it on purpose. He probably did. Him, obviously other people helped me, but mainly he taught me this when I was younger. I didn't even know that I was being taught something. I didn't even know it's going to benefit me later on. I thought my dad, personally, I thought he was being hard on me at the time. I was like, why is he making me suffer? Why is he forcing me to face my fears? Why is he doing this to me? But I didn't realize he was toughening me up. He did it because he cared about me. And he was making me a man and it was preparing me. And if he didn't put me through that, I wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't be able to do what I do and help other people. So having someone push me at the time, my dad, and then later on I had other mentors. Obviously, you guys know my story when I met Floyd, who was very good with women. He pushed me, like my dad did, to go and speak to women, and I did it. And then my confidence grew from there. And then I had another mentor, mentoring Jeff. Jeff pushed me to face my addictions and insecurities and trauma. And I did that, and that healed me. So a lot of great men have helped me. My dad, friends, mentors, and people online as well, people that I look up to, quite a few people. So the great thing about today is, on a positive note, because there's so much negativity, there are a lot of good mentors out there, but there's a lot of mentors that are full of shit. I'm going to say it. I wouldn't usually say that before because I want to come across perfect and not, but so there's a lot of good ones and a lot of ones. So I would always say, look at the fruits of someone's life, like look at the proof. And if you see the proof, then you can, well, you'll know if their teaching is right, because when you go and try it, it'll either work or it won't. And of course mine does, because like it's not mine. It's not like I've got a copyright on facing fear. It's whether you're going to do it or not. So you can do it. You can succeed. But those voices are strong. I'm going to give you another bit of education. What I've found is, and I've been spoken to my mum about it on occasions, and this goes back to when I was in childhood. And I know a lot of you will connect with this. I've read that book, Feel the Fear, Do It Anyway. Fantastic book, great woman, great teaching, no criticism whatsoever. It's the truth. It's the same truth that I teach when I live. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Great, brilliant. So when I was like, I remember when I was like 9, 8, or 11, I always used to struggle with like boredom if I wasn't doing anything. So if I'm not doing something productive or creative or practical, if I'm not going to the gym, if I'm not teaching or doing a live stream or spending time with my family or going for a walk or swimming or watching something interesting, my mind is very, very negative and destructive. It will take me into very dark places, places of I'm not good enough, or I don't feel good enough, or life's frightening, or what's the point of life? You know, really pessimistic. So in order to avoid that, I've got to have things to do, be practical. And that pattern's continued from when I was 11, even younger than that. I'm 7, as long 9, 7, all the way up to now. I'm 35 years of age. Because I'm very creative. I think creative people are very talented, but they're very emotionally and mentally vulnerable and sensitive. And I know that's a bit of a generalization because at some level everyone is sensitive and vulnerable, but some people more than others. And I think I am a lot more susceptible to mental health and anxiety and depression and whatever you call it, OCD and worrying and loneliness and boredom, because of my personality. And a lot of you guys are saying you can relate. I sense that. I mean, we're very similar. That's why we connect. So the solution is, yeah, it's true. That's what I've learned. Most artists all have mental health issues. I'm coming out. I'm saying I do. I've had it all my life, and I'm not like I'm coming to terms with it. I'm like more proud of it now. Tyson Fury's come out, who's a great boxing champion. Mike Tyson, he suffered with mental health. There's so many now. There's just so many. Yeah, I definitely get into state when I do videos. I've got into state in this video. That's the whole point of being practical. And that's a key point you mentioned, I talk about a lot. You have got to get into state to face fear, because the current state you're in, which is what I spoke about earlier, is the voices. I'm not good enough. I'm lonely. I'm not trusting. I'm paranoid. Total fear and anxiety. To get out of that, you've got to get into state. And you do that by taking action. So a lot of many nuances, Joe. It's true. Like, I guess I'm really going deep into the psychology, and the infill videos. They're still the best because you see me doing it. You see it live. You get to watch it. And I will be doing some more in future. If anyone knows a great filmmaker, obviously I'm going to pay them as well. It's not for free. They're going to get paid. A professional filmmaker who can come out and film me, then get in touch. I would love to work with you. And someone that is honest, genuine, and passionate, and likes what they do, let me know, because I'm looking for a new filmmaker, cameraman, to make some new infill professional videos. Me going out and demonstrating how to conquer fear and speak to women. I've got to say I disagree with that, and that's a fair point, and I'm willing to be wrong. I don't agree that if you take action and it backfires hugely, the anxiety worsens. In my experience, that is totally not true. It's the opposite. I mean, how could it backfire? I mean, yes, in the sense that, let's say, for example, you're very sensitive, like I was when I first started, and I'm still sensitive, but I'm a lot stronger now, experience. Like, let's say that you're really sensitive to rejection and judgment, and you walk out on the street first time, you face your fear, you approach a girl, you talk to her, and then you ask her for a number, and she says, "I'm going to have to say no," and you say, "Why?" She says, I'm not interested in giving you my number and going out with you, but thanks for approaching me." If you've got deep, deep issues and you haven't addressed those issues, then in that sense, it can hurt you. But that's only going to grow you in the long run, because not facing the fear, as I said, it's going to worsen your mental health. Nothing's happened to the camera, guys. It's just that, how can I say it? Some relationships just come to an end, and it's not for a bad reason. It's just that I've worked with several cameramen. I've had really good relationships with them, but I want to work with someone new. I want a fresh relationship, a fresh perspective, and that's the reason why I want to work with a new filmmaker. And I've always kind of done that over the years. I've changed. I've worked with people for a long time, a year or 6 months. So no, I'd have to disagree. And I've had some people challenge me on it and go, you know, listen, unless you're an exception, unless you've got severe mental health problems, and then you need professional help, medication, doctors, stuff like that. But generally, most people that are healthy and have, you know, like normal mental health, anxiety or social anxiety or depression, going out and facing your fear is only going to improve you. And that's been my experience. Not just me with teaching people, seeing the results. The only way to get over the fear of intimacy issues is to be intimate. Again, it's that same thing. It's the simple thing. So, you know, and you do toughen up when you face these fears, you know, but you've got to be vulnerable too. You've got to be vulnerable if you want to succeed and go out. That puts you in a really good place. And I will say as well, at the moment, yeah. If you like, that's what I'm saying, and you know that, Joe. Like talking to one girl can change your whole mood. It can change your life. Like I didn't know a few weeks ago because for a period. Maybe this is important for you guys to know that I was getting rejected quite a lot. I just wasn't connecting with the women that I was approaching, and things weren't falling through. Some were flaking on me. I was feeling a little bit needy and a bit desperate, putting pressure on myself. And then I met a nice girl, and it went really well. And we've been dating, and it just came. It came because I took action. So you have to keep it up as well. And I think a lot of people, the mistake they make, and we all do it, we're all guilty of it. Like you might take a bit of action and feel good and then stop doing it. It's almost like it's a lifestyle. You've got to continue living like a warrior. You know, you've got to keep this up because fear will always creep back in. Can I list very important principles leading to honest living in one place? Like a document with bullet points. Well, I'll go through some things now, and it's what I've said it already in the talk. Is everything I said. It's the self-honesty, and I think the more honest you are with yourself, the more you'll come to terms with yourself. You'll start to like yourself. You'll improve yourself. And then you can be honest with people. It's just the obvious things, you know, like not watching porn or staying away from it. You know, being honest with people, treating people right, being honest about your mistakes. You know, the obvious kind of values and stuff like that. And being honest in your approach is very important. So let's go through some questions now because I feel like I said quite a load today. I bottled a date last week. Happened to you, Johnny? It happened to me loads of times. When I first started out, you know, and a lot of my students did this in the early days as well, and they still do it occasionally. I have it on a 6-week program where they sabotage themselves. I did it. A fear of success, a fear of intimacy, social anxiety. Most of the cause behind doing that, underlining, is social anxiety. You're frightened, you know, of the interaction. I would say, don't beat yourself up. Like I said earlier at the start of this talk, because I've got a tendency to do it, especially if I don't continue to work on myself and keep myself in a good, positive place. Excuse me. Don't beat yourself up. Learn from it, but don't be a victim. You know, don't feed your ego and go, "Oh, I'm a loser. I'm a coward," and just go, "Okay, I didn't make it this time." Listen, again, like I said, I'm not perfect. No one is. There are going to be times in your life where you're going to bottle it. Being a courageous man and succeeding and having a great potential, that doesn't mean you're always perfect. I'm not. Of course, even now, there's times where I see a girl and I don't do it. I can't get myself to do it. That fear kicks in. That's fine. As long as you're not paralyzed with fear and you're not going on any date, and no one's going to be that extreme. So, you know, be grateful that you've got a date. Learn from the lesson. Get inspired. Know that it's happened to me loads of times. And next time you'll show up to the date. Because the pain of not going on the date is far greater than the pain of going on the date. because it's a good pain, you're going to get growth. And that's another thing I think as well. I don't think I know. All of us are like it, human. People don't want to experience emotional pain. And I didn't, and I still don't. But you cannot go out and succeed in life and not experience emotional pain. If you want to do well in business, if you want to do well at coaching women, whatever venture you want to go into, it doesn't really matter. You have got to get emotionally tougher and experience some negative emotions, a lot of negative emotions, you get all the good ones. So don't be naive in that I can go out, approach women, create the dream life and do it pain-free. You can't. And any guru or anyone who says that you can, they're lying. They're not being truthful about that. Yeah, pick yourself back up and go out, and enjoy it, and you'll get the numbers. Hey, I've been getting a lot of flakes as well. I get the occasional numbers from approaches, but rarely any replies. I'm just trying to learn to push through and learn. Well, this is good because Sam, you're at a certain point, and I was at this point, and I can recognize it. And it's an exciting point, but it's also a frustrating point where you're so close, but you're so far in that you're getting numbers. The girls they're interested in you to a large degree, but then they're flaking on you. So I know that means you've just got to work on the connection a bit more better. When you build stronger connections, those flakes will suddenly shift and your whole reality and world will turn upside down in a good way. And then they won't flake anymore. The dates will come through. So you're doing well, you're taking action, keep going. And that's a key thing. You've got to keep going, I keep saying it. It's not a perfect journey. You've probably heard this before. Yeah, success ain't like that. It's not straight. It's all over the place. It's ups, it's downs. 10 women don't want to speak to you. One woman is totally into you. You talk to 20 women, you don't get any phone numbers because you're putting too much pressure. Another day you don't expect it. You get 3 phone numbers in one day. It's like that, And there's some deep spiritual truths that I'm going to talk about in another video. It doesn't feel relevant now. Unless you guys want me to talk about it right now, I can if you request it. Now I'm gonna work from the questions, and I'm gonna improvise now because I've said what I wanted to say. Yeah, it's definitely worth it in the end, Joe. I promise it's worth it. It's a painful journey. It's frightening. It's terrifying, but it's beautiful. It's freeing. It's healing. It's relieving. It's everything about who you are. Everything. It's worth it. It is definitely worth it in the end. It's worth to discover the truth of who you are and what you're capable of, and just getting down to the simplicity. It's great to love a woman, be loved by a woman. It's great to have a relationship with a woman. Who doesn't want that? Come on, let's be straight. Which one of you guys don't want to be in love and feel loved by another human being and love a person back? It's the best feeling in the world. It's why we're here. So of course, if you're absent of that, you're not going to feel good. So I'm trying to help you to feel good and then create that. It's the best feeling in the world. There's no better feeling. Obviously, there's lots of great things in life, and family is the most important, and that. But there's no better feeling than lying down next to a beautiful woman, feeling completely comfortable in yourself and comfortable with each other, hugging each other, kissing, holding hands, like that intimate. You can't beat that. We crave that. I love that. I'm not embarrassed at all to say it. I love that feeling. So love is the most important thing. And that's something I think a lot of men and people don't talk about. They didn't even mention the word love in that Harvard talk. I'm thinking, okay, you guys are apparently the most intelligent people on the planet, but you're not speaking about the most important thing, which is love. You're not saying that a lot of fear is triggered because of a lack of love, or we're not connected to it. So we need to fall in love with ourselves, fall in love with another person, have a person fall in love with us, and then we feel connected. Love is connection, absolutely. So I feel the connection when I teach. I feel that love. I feel that love for people. I feel it. And you'll feel it when you go out and speak to women. Yeah, it's much better than paying for hookers. And, we've all probably done that. I did that in my past. And that will lead you to depression, darkness, and loneliness. But I'm not judging anyone who's done it. I did that in my past. I'm open about that. So that's another. One of you asked me earlier on, is it Anton, Russian guy? You asked me about how to live a clean, honest life, not paying for hookers. I ain't going to go into that topic at the moment. You've mentioned that name. I ain't going to speak about it now. I don't feel this is not my place. But I understand what you're saying. TL Jovi. I'm not even going to mention the name. I'm not going to get into it because it's going to sidetrack what we're talking about. Yeah, very robotic without emotions. And another thing that I found fascinating about myself and a lot of guys I work with is that I was terrified to be emotional with a woman or with myself or people. Because of the fear of not being manly enough, being weak, which is not true, opposite truths. So all these things you discover, starting off like going out and approaching women is almost like that's an avenue, that's like a portal to a whole new reality of discovering yourself, your potential, your qualities, your insecurities. It's very fascinating. I mean, it leads on to other things, fashion, fitness, have hobbies, goals, sports. Also, as well, guys, subscribe to the channel as well. If you're not subscribed, then that would be great. Leave a comment below the video. I'm going to be, paying for hookers will ruin your results with women. Whenever I've done it in my past, whenever I've paid for hookers, I've got bad luck after. It's affected my relationships, obviously with myself. It's been really difficult to meet a woman. It's taken a long time to pick myself back up because it's not good spiritually. But I'm not going to bash on. I'm not judging men for doing it. I know because I've done it, but I don't do it anymore. But you know what? I'm not going to be arrogant. It's unlikely I'm going to do it, but I could do it. I don't want to do it. And I don't want to be, I want to be a good role model for other men. But I'm going to be honest enough to say that any of us can get vulnerable. You never know. So don't be arrogant in the fact that we are all vulnerable to our addictions and we can fall short. And if we do, that's another conversation. That's where forgiveness comes in and learning. But of course, we don't set out to do it. And it's very unlikely that I'm going to do that. I mean, why would I be inspired to do that? I have a woman in my life, but I've done it in the past. So I know that place. I know that insecurity and that shadow. Yeah, meeting women on the street is a lot more romantic. And like I said, it doesn't like have to be the street. I'm talking about in public, a park, a coffee shop, a train, a museum, an art gallery, anywhere in natural good environments. Yeah, that's 100% true. The opposite of addiction is connection. Anytime I've gone into an addiction, it's because I felt disconnected from myself and people and women and stuff. So I hope today that I've really just told you guys the truth that I found, which has changed my life and continue to do that. And it will give you something a lot more precious than a set of pickup lines to go out and meet women, which is not what I'm teaching, what I'm about. It really does go deep. It does eventually, it translates into love. That's what it's about, and that's ultimately what women want to feel from you when you approach them. That's it. You guys always ask me, what is it women are attracted to? What do they want? They want a loving man. They want a guy who not as perfect as I've got lots of issues, but beyond all your issues, they want a man with a good heart, a confident, courageous man who's got the balls to be honest with them and be real with them. And if you can be that man, which you can be, you won't have a problem meeting women. Believe me. And again, I want to say something. Succeeding with women doesn't mean not getting flaked on, not getting rejected, not missing a date because you get scared sometimes. It means all that. It's not a perfect journey. Like, even where I am now, The girl that I've met that's come into my life, she's really beautiful and wonderful. And I met her. I'm really proud of myself. I approached her by myself on the street. And, but if we backtrack before I met her, I had to go through some days of being lonely, really, really lonely about a woman and depressed. And with all what I've achieved and the amount of people I've helped, you would think I shouldn't have that. I'm human. And I had women mess me around. Some come on dates and nothing happened. Some said they were going to meet me, then they flaked on me. So I go through that too. I think the only difference is I deal with it better because of my experience. So get more experience and you'll deal with it better. And I find the less you complain about the flakes, the less angry you get, the less hurt you get and upset you get, the quicker a beautiful woman comes into your life, the quicker you'll succeed because you're maintaining that level of gratitude, of integrity. You're not falling into feeling sorry for yourself. So please, guys, I want to encourage you. And I'm very compassionate. Of course, it's okay to cry, nothing wrong crying, but don't feel sorry for yourself. Don't be a victim because that will not help with mental health and with women. Yeah, that's definitely true. The opposite of depression is expression. So today was great because I really got to talk about mental health and confidence of women, and we've covered like everything, the psychology of fear, but the solution is to face it. And you just got to change your mindset. You wouldn't believe what you guys can do if you just a slight shift in mindset, just viewing something different. So I'm just going to share a few things that I do. So when I've got things coming up that I'm frightened of or fearful, or things that I don't believe I can do, or I'm not good enough to do, I sit and go, I really question, who am I? I really go deep down and go, is it really true? Am I really that scared? And I go, I'm scared, but I know I can do it. And that part of us that says, the part of me that says, I know I can do it, that's who you are. That's yourself. That's your confidence. That's you being very realistic. And then you just go and face it and do it. And you accept and, you've got to go into the unknown as well doing this because you can't know 100% that you're going to walk up to one and you're going to succeed with her. But underneath that uncertainty and unknown and low self-esteem and doubt, if you tap in consciously to yourself, there is a part of every single one of us that I spoke about earlier that is far beyond any book, an intelligence that we have in us, a God-given intuition that knows that you're going to succeed. You know that you're going to meet a great woman. You know that you're going to get through your depression. You know that you're going to overcome your loneliness. You're going to meet a friend, or you're going to succeed or make money, whatever. But you've got to do the work. You've got to exercise and awaken that spirit. It really is about awakening to your potential, and you awaken through practical action. And then when you see the benefits of it, which is what I've seen, and so many of my clients that I've mentored on the 6 weeks programs and all of the confidence weekend workshops, they've experienced their potential. And then you're going to want to experience it more and more. You're not going to want to believe the negative voices. So seeing is believing, experiencing is believing. And okay. Any more questions? You guys, I'm going to finish up soon because we've been going for longer than planned. But I'm happy to answer a few more questions. I suppose my next question for you guys is: now what you're going to do? Are you going to go and face your fear? Are you going to take action? And if you are in a position where you cannot approach women by yourself, then get in touch for my help. Get a mentor. Get someone to take you out and help you to do it and support you and give you that tutoring and teaching and mentoring and friendship. Yeah, it is important depression. It is linked with dating, because I really believe that most men that are really struggling to speak to women and meet a woman, it's because they're depressed. And if you can get them out of being depressed or feeling good, talking to women will be very natural in them, and you'll enjoy it. And I've spoken about that a lot, and I'll keep saying it, that it's all about enjoying the process. And when you surrender to it with all your heart, there's nothing to be afraid of. And all these voices quieten down, and you connect with that spirit within, that courage, that potential, that confidence. And then you go out and do it, and you get the results. And when you get the results, it's proof, and you've proved it to yourself. So we're going to finish up now. I feel like I'm done. I'm out of juice. I really enjoyed today. It was really good. But that's it. That's the philosophy. That's the truth. You take action. You do it. You approach women from a good place. You be genuine. You be kind. You don't manipulate, and you don't quit. You don't quit if you get knocked back. Everyone gets knocked back. It makes you stronger. It's a part of life. You're welcome, Joe. Thanks for coming on the talk. You guys are great. Thanks for the input as well. And it was really good today. And I'll let you guys know when I'm doing a free event in London. I'll be doing a talk. I do them like kind of every month. So I'll let you know when the next one is. And I'm going to be going swimming tomorrow, but I might be online tomorrow. So check me. Just have a check tomorrow about 8 o'clock, about 8 p.m. Because I think I feel like I'm going to do another live stream. So you're welcome, Jeremy. All of you are welcome. And have a serious think about taking action. Good night, Joe. So enjoy the process, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed speaking with you guys today and connecting. So yeah, round of applause. That's how you do it. You know, that's the mental health side, the spiritual side, the practical side. Take action. You know, talk is cheap. Theories and the science of it and the amygdala, it's all good and well. Boom, action. Enjoy the process. Love you guys. Good luck. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.